Huh? You champion of the world? Are you ready, Freddy? All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Houston with a Problem, episode number 420. And I know you stoners are out there like smoking your drugs and having a great old time. But I'm here being a square. Sorry. This new monitor I got, it looks wonderful. And then every 15 minutes, it just kind of turns into like weird vertical lines. Like I turn it off and back on again, and then it works. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, so smoke your bowls and do your drugs and hang out for the next, well, I got 90 minutes today, 89 minutes from now. And we will discuss the news of the day. Not too much news seems to be blasted off. Let's see here. GameStop's been getting hammered back down again, which is going to make those calls even more delicious come next month. And we have Toys R Us. Australia it kind of like dropped in half today. It's doing whatever it's doing. There's lots of hopium for the 24th for Bed Bath & Beyond, assuming that some sort of credit bid, takeover, change of ownership was signed on the 14th. Okay, well, figure that out when we come to it. And do I have anything else, Monkey? Duh. Oh, I've been sent this several times. Someone posted it in the Reddit as well. About a family from Canada, an ultra-conservative family from Canada who's like super homophobic and transphobic. And they're like, we just can't handle this gay stuff. So they decided to sell everything and move to Russia. Because Russia's been like, hey, American and Canadian far-right people, come to Russia where you will have your utopia and we will help you get settled. So this family took them up on it. They sold their farm. They sold everything. Husband, wife, 8 kids. Packed up, moved to like East Bumfuck, Russia with all their money, put their money into a Russian bank, and we're hoping to buy a farm. And the Russians were like, oh, we'll help you facilitate all this stuff. We'll get you settled, blah, blah, blah. And then the Russian bank seized their funds and the Russian officials disappeared. And now they are homeless, foodless, and penniless, trying to figure out how the hell get out of Russia. It's only been, what, like a week, 2 weeks? So, just classic, really, really, really tough lesson to learn. And I doubt they're going to learn that lesson. They're probably going to think, well, Russia sucks. But they aren't going to understand that, like, their ideal of what a perfect right-wing utopia is versus what the reality they were living in Canada was, does not fit reality. But they won't learn that lesson. They will probably double down on their homophobia and transphobia. Go from there. But anyway, it's a funny story. And go to the subreddit and read it. What I'm doing. So I have literally hundreds of viewing glasses left over, and some sent me some new ones also for viewing the eclipse that's coming up in April. So if you send me a self-addressed stamped envelope to the address below, the P.O. box below, I will send you as many as you need for your friends and family. I don't know how many I can fit in an envelope, maybe up to like 10 of them or something. But don't be greedy, because other people will want to be able to enjoy the eclipse. But I have probably a couple hundred of these eclipse tickets. Sent me a bunch as well, and I will be giving some of those out. So send me a self-addressed stamped envelope to the P.O. box below in the description, and I will send you viewing glasses so you can watch the solar eclipse that's happening in April. So do that, and I'll try to remind people every show to do that. Tomorrow, Rose is on the show. And next Tuesday is Charity Tuesday, and I have not selected a charity yet. We'll try to figure that out. And these are really high quality viewing glasses. They're not the cheap ones from China that like pretend like they're gonna block out the sun and then they burn a hole in your retina. These ones work. They're great. And they're great too. Like you can take them and put them over the lens of your camera and get really cool pictures of the eclipse as well. So I highly recommend that. I know there's a viewer that's in Arkansas, and they invited me out for the eclipse, and please send me a message because I have 8 billion messages and I can't remember who it was. Because I will see if I can make it out for the eclipse. That'd be wonderful. Yeah. So, anything else before I hit the button, monkey? No. Well then, doink. That didn't work. Doink. I got my Stream Deck up working again, and now it's not. Okay, we're on Big Houston. Doink. Okay, that's not working. We'll do it the old-fashioned way, such as one of these. Or one of these. Oh, one of these. Oh, come on. One of these. There we go. Also, get a chair doesn't squeak so much, monkey. Those gaming chairs don't have all the moving parts. Oh, shit. We're back. Oh, off. Turn it off. There we go. Okay, so. Might as well go to the phones. Confidence and Homer. Hello, all you apes. And they're first. And you are first. Chris Taylor second. That makes a memorable 4 score 7 years ago. Nope, already been done. December 7th, a day to live in infamy. Nope, already been done. My pronouns are Bull Bear. I was watching Girk on Pickle Finance today. Those guys hopped SHMP today. Went up 110%. Is Real Mo something small like that where the float could be locked up real quick? I don't know about SHMP. SHMP stock. Natural Shrimp Incorporated. Yeah, they went from looks like 1 cent to 2.5 cents today. I mean, penny stocks are a great way to make a quick buck or lose everything real quick. Because they can have a 1 cent jump in their price and they've doubled. And that's not necessarily a squeeze, but more probably FOMO. Like what's the volume? Let's see here. Go to there. We will go to there. There we go. Volume was 14 million. Average volume is 4 million. So my guess is everyone jumping in, buying as many as they can, may have been what caused it to go up a full cent. I play with penny stocks. I play with a lot of sub penny stocks, like stuff that's been seller boxed, because it will go from like 1/100th of a penny to a 2/100th of a penny back to a 100th of a penny. You can just buy and sell doing that. But I generally don't put my faith that a penny stock like this all of a sudden is going to be like $10 and everyone retires. Natural Shrimp Incorporated. Okay. They have a market value of $11 million. So someone with $11 million can buy the entire company and own all the natural shrimp they want. Interesting. Fabrizio's plopping in here. Chris Taylor, how about we choose to be first, not because it's easy, but because it's hard? That's good. That's good. My pronouns, Bull Bear. Welcome to Problem Solver. Welcome to the Problem Solvers. Vizio guys here. Donkey Donks is also here. Scott Paula, my pronouns, Moas is GME and Pickle is Creep. Oh well, I mean I'm okay with Pickle. I haven't had him on. I haven't been on his show. I had him on in a while. Andrew Stewart Houston. Why are folks on the right thinking Putin is such a bad guy? Wait. Oh, why aren't folks on the right thinking Putin's such a bad guy? Remember the 80s and the right hated Russia. What was the big change? Well, I mean, politically, Putin went from Soviet communist ideologue to right-wing, authoritarian, fascist-leaning, racist, homophobic dude. So he represents their ideology, and that's why I think they like him. So there you go. Belgian Whale, buenas noches from European Hawaii. Fuerteventura, Puff, give Houston. You're in the Canaries, right? That's not where you where you went. I would love to go to the Canary Islands someday. I want to go to the Canary Islands, and I want to go to the Azores, and I want to go to Fiji and Tahiti and the Seychelles and Socotra and Guadalupe and Galapagos, Kiribati, Saipan, Philippines. Let's go to all the islands. Just go to all of them. Especially the Shalom Crest Wizard Academy. Pilot to the moon. Counterfeit shares everywhere. Securities sold not yet purchased. Rico. Hello, Dr. Wave and crew. Justin Stewart. Hey, Houston. Threw my back out. Tried Eastern medicine, dude. What the fuck? I'm all good now. Chinese medicine is crazy, painful, but awesome. Cupping, acupuncture, Chinese muscle massage. All right. I like massage. That's my favorite one. Spy 620. I've started calling my pup Monkey Butt because of Houston. See, the thing is, like, I called all the dogs Monkey Butt prior to getting Monkey Butt. I was like, if I was like wrestling with a dog, I'm like, little Monkey Butt, I'm gonna get you. And then when I got Monkey Butt, her name was Merle because she had a Merle coat and she's from Hawaii, so Lay. And I was like, that's lame. You're Monkey Butt. And she's been Monkey Butt ever since. Like, whenever I say the word Monkey Butt, her ears perk up. See that? Monkey Butt. Oh, the fat cat's here. Doink. I got you. I got 10 tons of you. Cattail karaoke. Woo! The karaoke microphone went away. Oh, turn off the Batman intro. And now the fat man's got this wonderful new giant desk, and he can get up there and get in my way. So I have no idea where are we looking? Oh, god damn it, cat. Where? Okay, that's joining the thing. That is Justin Stewart. That's the monkey butt one. Mr. Lasuna. Did you read about the quasar that's 500 trillion times brighter than the sun? Surely one of the brightest objects in the universe. Is there an upper limit to how luminous a quasar can become? No, just leave it. Leave it, dude. I don't think there is. I mean, there's a practical limit, which is it can only consume as many planetary systems and stars as are available. But if you somehow were to make like the infinite of the universe available to it, it could get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But yeah, those quasars are gnarly. They're super bright because they have super giant black holes at the center of those galaxies that are consuming lots of stuff. And it's likely because two galaxies may have collided. And so now there's lots of material available to the black holes. Two of the black holes may have collided that were sent to those galaxies and just made super massive giant things. And the accretion disk around those, which is where like all the gas and dust is like flowing in, and fusion starts to happen in that disk, and it gets really, really bright. They also shoot out a whole bunch of X-ray and other high energy particles out of the poles because they're rotating really fast. But yeah, I mean, theoretically there's no limit. Practically there is a limit because there's only so much things one of those black holes can consume before they've consumed everything they can consume, and then they kind of quiet down. Our own black hole, Sagittarius A, in the center of our galaxy, it's a couple million solar masses. It's kind of modest for a supermassive black hole. We've seen black holes in the center of galaxies, especially in like elliptical galaxies that are hundreds of billions of solar masses, meaning like the entirety of the Milky Way, all of the stars, gas, dust, the Milky Way is inside the black hole in the center of one of these really giant elliptical galaxies. So they must have been one hell of a quasar back in the day. Yeah, so no, they get real bright. Be glad that there aren't any near us, that we are past that stage, because my guess is if there was a quasar in the center of our galaxy 13 billion years ago, it would be too bright for anything to survive in the galaxy at that time. You got to wait for all the radiation to die down, and then, you know, planets can form atmospheres and things like that. Ludicrous speed. 29th is a more likely date for BBBY news, in my opinion, as it is 10 business days from the 14th, if anything. If anything happened in court that day. Plus, it's a leap day if anyone is basing their DD on frog posts, etc. on X. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are posting the frog ice cream cone thing. I personally thought that Ryan Cohen posted that after GameStop paid off all their debt. And that was sort of their celebration of paying off their debt. I don't think he planned the whole bankruptcy, coming out of bankruptcy, having a company thing that far in advance. I think the bankruptcy thing was a plan B. And plan A was proxy fight, take over company, good to go. But that wasn't going to work. Not with the members of the board that were on there. In any case, is this guy standing behind you? I think he wants his monitor back. Yes, my new monitor is a dead man's monitor. I have two friends. You guys, I think, actually met them 2 years ago when I was in Switzerland. They were living in Spain. They just moved back to Seattle. And the home that they're renting, a man died inside of and left a bunch of stuff behind because the family didn't want it all. And one of them was this fancy 4K gaming monitor, and they gave it to me. So now I've got a dead man's monitor, and his ghost is behind me wondering why I'm not using it to play video games. So yes, I inherited a monitor from an unknown dead man. It's a nice monitor, except for it just keeps crapping out every 10 minutes. Other than that, it looks great. And then it goes, I got to turn it off and back on. Kevin Rayon in Houston, happy birthday. All this thumb twiddling is getting to be tough. How about some Kool-Aid hopium storytelling about how there will be a settlement for MMTLP and a short destroying Keiretsu by RC ICANN? Okay. Well, we've seen some pretty neat stuff come out of the MMTLP space in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And it points to, they've got at least 100 members of Congress behind them, which is it's not a majority, but it's a significant amount that like others who waffle go like, all right, we'll go along with this. FINRA's fucked. They lied to Congress. They lied to the public. They lied to the SEC. They lied to everyone. And their lies have been getting exposed, such as they obviously had contact with brokers and market makers prior to the halt. 2, they lied about not operating exchange because they operate a dark pool exchange. 3, not only do they operate a dark pool exchange, but they gave their green light to other dark pool exchanges to operate who are not members of FINRA, who do nothing but offshore naked shorts overseas. So, those 3 things, oopsie. And they lied about the count of shares. They lied about what FTDs are and how they operate. They lied about swaps and how you can erase FTDs with those swaps. And I think MMTLP's got enough leverage right now that they can force FINRA and the SEC to the bargaining table. And that bargaining table could result in any number of outcomes. It could be 2 days of trading, which would be fantastic. With forced closures. Not just like, let's trade for 2 days and it's over. But let's trade for 2 days, position close only, and brokers must close every short position because there cannot be short positions on a private company. Period. Right? Close it. 2, some sort of negotiated settlement where there's a fine from broker dealers, FINRA, etc., that pays X number of dollars per share. And that could be then sent out as a cash dividend, which would fuck over the short hedge funds and market makers even more, because then they got to pay the payment in lieu to all those naked shorts they created. There could be, a purchase of the company at hundreds of dollars a share, because that's just what oil fields cost these days. There's a lot of things that could happen with that. Okay, on to the Keiretsu. Assuming Bed Bath & Beyond gets absorbed by the creditors, right? The credit bid gets made. We think the money behind the credit bid is Ryan Cohen, possibly Carl Icahn, right? So they make credit bid, they get the company. Now they have these huge amount of nulls that they can benefit from. So if they've got a corporation, they can reverse merger into it. Any profit, they don't pay tax on it for a long, long time because there's probably upwards of $10 billion in nulls. Because remember, the first 9 months of 2023, they lost like $3.83 billion. 2022, they lost $2.78 billion. In 2018 through 2021, they lost about $1 billion a year. So there's $10 billion or more in nulls, which translates to $2 to $3 billion in like physical cash due to not having to pay taxes. So it's very valuable. And, for about $400 million, $500 million, the creditors, debt financiers, will receive the company and get $2.5–3 billion back basically from that. Now, if you really, 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 really want to screw the shorts, and which seems to be what we think is like what they want to do. They want to be absolutely diabolical, and diabolical is delicious. You have some sort of cash component, right? You have, they're theorizing that there's $11 billion in a settlement from possibly JP Morgan on illegal transactions when they did stock buybacks that benefited insiders. So yeah, there could be cash there, which could come out to, depending on the share count, like $40 to $90 a share. So let's imagine that there's the issue. Let's just call it $40 a share, because math is easy. Issue $40 a share. Everyone gets their $40. So if you have 10,000 shares, you now have $400,000 to play with. Neat. You can go out, you can buy your IEP and GameStop and get your calls and, puts on whatever. Like you can do your plays, right? But estimations are that shorts have created around 5 billion naked shares on Bed Bath & Beyond. Hey, Orange Cat, come to say hi. And that means they're going to owe $40 for each and every one of those 5 billion short shares. Right? There's $200 billion they weren't planning on spending. So now they out of their pocket, they got to pay $200 billion in cash. Okay, that's just the beginning, right? Now it drains them all their cash. Their cash is gone. They got no liquidity, nothing. Getting margin call already. Trying to find ways to get some sweet liquidity into their accounts, but there is none because banks are toast. They're absolutely fucked on commercial real estate and Chinese real estate and everything else. So now part of the credit bid is a reverse merger into another company, GameStop, Lego, Chewy, whatever. Right? So you reverse merge these companies in. And then maybe you spin off several other companies out. So it could be, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 companies that come out of it, all with individual stock at different prices, right? They have different floor prices and offerings. And now you could be dealing with hundreds of dollars in liability for just each share that you shorted in Bed Bath & Beyond, which now translates to trillions of dollars in liability in definite forced liquidation and closing of positions. Because let's say you're a lender. You are, I don't know, the Teachers Union of North Dakota or whatever, right? And you've got, 10 million shares of Bed Bath & Beyond that you lent out. You're making your 1% shitty little deal on it. And the stock crashed to nothing. You're like, oh, well, I guess it's done. And then all of a sudden, that stock not only pays out $40 a share in cash, so now you got $40 million or $400 million in your account, but then they issue 7 more stocks out of it, all valued from like $12 to $200 a share or whatever. Now you are going to be like, I need those shares back because there's no way you're going to get me all the shares I need. So I'm recalling everything. Pay me back. That's going to trigger the stock price to fly even more as positions get closed to pay back their lenders, and the stock price would be astronomical after that, and it would vaporize every hedge fund, every market maker. It'd probably vaporize their prime brokers. It would just be evil and amazing, and so those are our potentialities. Or on the other side, nothing happens and I lost $3,000. And okay, I still have a dead man's monitor, so there we go. A Jamaican mon. Jamaican mon, sorry. Hey, Houston. Houston mon. Happy birthday. Good job on the clean desk. I have to do the same. We'll catch you later. Have a good one. Oh, yes, I cleaned my desk this weekend, and it's wonderful because it was just that's my hand. So go maybe a couple inches below that was the pile of papers and books. Like, had I tilted this camera down more, you would have seen nothing but mess down there. But look at that. Look, oh, just nice empty space. Woo! Isn't that great? Is that where I want to be? Yeah, close enough. Still got a monkey butt in the background there. Okay. So, it's wonderful. It's so, this will last for a number of days, and then I'll grab a book off the shelf to show you guys, and then we'll get piled there, and then it'll be all. Anyway, Where am I? Jamaican Mon. Brenda Queen of Swords. A long time no see, Mr. Houston. Welcome. Julio's here. Happy 420th. Gregory T is here with green hearts. Cali Bowl. Julio, let's celebrate with a Zacapa and a cigar. Ludwig Vladimir Dorner. Hey, Houston. When are we finally done with BBYQ? Never? I mean, sooner rather than later, right? I mean, it won't be never because we'll get an answer. Either there's a credit bid and we win, or there isn't a credit bid and we don't. That's the binary we have, right? If we don't get the credit bid and nothing happens, okay, we got a resolution, we're out money, we're idiots, all the remastered guys are right. If we do get a credit bid and there's issuance of securities and cash and everything else, what happens inside of there is a spectrum. It could just be, you just get some shares. Done. That's it. And end of story. Or it could be what I just described, which is cash and equity and multiple companies and just a splendid explosion of things that will dominate the news cycle for weeks. And we won't care because we'll be like in presidential suites at hotels around the world celebrating. And I don't know. But how do you feel? How do you feel about going to like a 7-star resort? Yeah. Where they're like no dogs. But then you're like, but I'm really rich. And they're like, okay, that dog is allowed. Right? You'd be okay with that, right? Yes. Yes. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Give it to me. Give it to me. Oh, you're just so... Oh, stretch it out. You're just such a lazy dog right now. Yes. Oh, look at you. Look at you, you special dog. Yeah. All right, well, high five. High five? There we go. Oh, you almost made it. You almost made it. The high five didn't exist prior to October 2nd, 1977, monkey. Remember that. All right. Now I got that bee staring behind me, giving me the you-know-what, because I woke her up. Phil, laugh my ass off. The weed number. Lee Luss is happy 420. Frozen Day Production. There's a battle on X over MMTLP. Some saying you have to transfer. Are you getting nothing? Or are you getting nothing? The others are saying it's a written contract. You have to get something. Here's how I think it's going to play out. And this, they're going to have to refile their S1 because we saw that they didn't meet some requirements for the S1. What I think NextBridge will do is they're going to mint however many shares of Nuco there are, probably a 1-to-1 distribution, be my guess, and they will distribute those shares as digital crypto, as blockchain shares on something like T0. And so everyone AST will then have T0 account that's associated with them with those shares in there. And so everybody who's transferred to AST, they're guaranteed to get those crypto shares. Everyone who's not an AST is going to be owed those crypto shares by whoever shorted to them, which is going to cause the market for those crypto shares to explode because the shorts will have to go into that T0 market, buy those shares, and then give them to everybody who didn't have them, which means, let's say it's 165 million of them, and there's over 1 billion shorts out there. So, dun 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 dun, shwink. Remember to turn that one off, and now go, boom. Got to turn off the Chrome. Bam. There's a calculator. There's that sexy lady right there. And I got a third monitor now over here with just the calculator and paint on it. So I don't have to move my windows around. Oh, it's so wonderful. Except I do have a giant microphone stand and camera in the way of the paint side. But this side where the calculator is just great. Okay. Let's say there's 1 billion shorts. Whoops. One more. There we go. 1 billion shorts. And there's only 165 million of the T0 Nuco shares that go out. So divide that by 165 million. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. That means each and every one of those Nuco shares will have to get purchased over 6 times in order to distribute to everybody who's owed them. Which means if you are in that T0 account, you don't have to sell them. You don't have to, because they need it 6 times, right? So they will keep coming back trying to get it from you, and the price will go higher and 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 higher. So that, I think, is what the plan is from NextBridge's side, is a trap for the shorts. And I think the SEC was being super picky with them and forcing them to go back and like redo all their filings all over again, because I think that they know that is what NextBridge is trying to do. So look at it. So if you have to purchase that thing 6 times over and over again off a blockchain exchange, which means, if I get my 1,000 of them, I don't have to sell. They'd be like, oh, I'll buy it from $10. I'll buy it from $100. I'll buy it for $1,000. I'll buy it from $10,000. I'm like, hey, you gotta buy it from me. You need this 6 times over and over again. So I just am not going to sell until the price is absolutely stupid. So why would I do that? Why? I have no interest whatsoever in selling until the price is like beyond reason. All right? And they're being liquidated, being forced to purchase the stuff because they're not making good on their obligation to provide those shares. So the price goes up, and maybe at some point I'm like, look, okay, now it's just too bad of money, and I see so many zeros in my account. Fine, I'll sell. Doink. So they buy them. Immediately gets transferred to somebody else at Fidelity or TradeStation or IBKR or whatever who couldn't transfer their shares over, and now they those coins have those shares to be purchased 5 more times, right? To be able to make good. So that person now, they immediately see like a cajillion zeros in their account, and they're like, well, shit. I guess I'll sell these. Doop. And then they sell them. And it transfers to somebody else's account on the brokerage. And it still has to be bought 4 more times, right? And they see zeros after zero after zero after zero after zero after zero in their account. And so they go, all right, I'll sell. Doink. And it gets transferred another time to somebody else. It still has to get purchased 3 more times. And it goes over and over and over again. And finally, you get to that poor person who hasn't gotten their T0 yet at whatever brokerage, lame-ass brokerage they're in, Webull or whatever, and finally they get their shares in the blockchain. Like, oh baby, it's my turn, and the zeros all start to disappear, and then they get stuck with them, or maybe they'll sell at a lower price or whatever. But at some point, the buy button the buying turns off. All the obligations are made. Trillions of dollars in liability has been recouped, and there you go. That's where you are. Yeah, so boom. Okay, I think I missed a super chat. I did. MDK. MDK. Hey Houston, I saw you promote Pi Crypto on your Reddit. Don't know if I missed you talking about it, but what's exciting about it? Thank you. The only thing that's exciting about it for me is that it's currently trading for like $30-something a share, or $30-something a coin, and I've got a few thousand of them. And I want to figure out how to get them out of the Pi network and into one of the exchanges where it's trading, because I haven't figured that part out yet. I'm sure there's some like hackers that have done it, and they're not really letting me know how to do that. Because I would like to have a pile of cash, because who doesn't? Yeah, I think I've got the thing down below. You can join, and it's mine. You just literally like once a day, it's like, hey, hit this button, and you start mining again for that day. And the more people you have in your circle, the more you mine each day. It's like a low energy version. You're not solving any math problems or need supercomputers. And there are apps in their browser that allows you to like barter. So you can be like, I want a Super Nintendo. I will give you a Pi coin for it. And then somebody sends you a Super Nintendo. But the idea is you create a marketplace for it, and I don't give a shit. I just want the sweet, sweet cash. That's what I want. So, yeah, that's what's exciting about it. Because beyond that, I don't give a shit. As long as I get some sweet, sweet cash out of it, I'm good. I am good. Low B gifted 10 memberships. Oh, Low B's getting on this. Dylan Miller DRS Jamaica, Oats with Goats. I've seen Oats with Goats in a while. A Future Millionaire, Puma 98, Christy Adamson, Critchy Chris, Bleh, if you're 19, Dang Lin Wang, and Jason Lathrop. We got some lurker hunting going on there. There's at least 4 or 5 of those that I'm not too familiar with. There we go. My turn to fish in the lurker pond. I love it. Cameron Mirza. So Donald Trump has 30 days to pay $600 million. Is it? What? That's a lot. I mean, New York has basically seized control of his assets in New York, so they can sell it anytime they want. They can take control. They can, yeah. So, Julio, I need your shoe size for these trendy gold sneakers. Just ignore the T on them. Punch a Tree, 40 million offering NextBridge big divvy, and oil deal divvy $2. I think the 40 million offering is for investors in the company, which are probably going to be a selected investor or oil company or someone at NAPE, the National Association of Petroleum Energy, whatever, conference 2 weeks ago. They're basically saying, hey, we're looking for some investors. We need about $50 million for phase 1, another $50 million for phase 2, and it will pay you between $1 and $2.5 billion in 10 years. So we need to drill these holes, and there we go. Basically, we get half, you get half kind of investment. So my guess is that maybe a little bit of enticement for those who might want to jump in. Like, hey, not only we'll give you shares in the company, but also, there's 50-50 splitsies on the drilling and production that we're going to be doing out of these oil wells. And the numbers that they were showing is like, if only 1 in 7 wells produces, that's $1 trillion over the lifetime of this field. And judging from the drills they've done, greater than 1 in 7 produce. And they have this new oil field they discovered this year that's a nice syncline with a whole bunch of oil just sitting there. It's shallow and just comes out without having to do any fracking. The good stuff. So I think it's, Punch a Tree. It's all just an incentive for investors to help them get those wells drilled. Those wells drilled. Animacy. Houston Wade, have you seen the investor from E-Trade? Seen that an investor from E-Trade has his shares moved back to AST? Huh? I don't quite understand your question. Have you seen that an investor from E-Trade has his shares moved back to AST? So he went to AST, took them back, and then they sent them back to AST? Is that what you're asking? Because I have not seen that. Turkish guy who settled to Russia fucks. I mean, he's got 8 kids, 8 starving kids he can't provide for. So, I mean, what else is he going to do with his time? Make a 9th one, probably. Cheshire, Houston. Glad I caught a live show. Big hugs to Monkey and Chalupa. They want treats. Love your show. Thanks. Is it time? I mean, we're 40 minutes in. She's not giving me the stare yet. I'm not going to do it until she gives me the stare. So, it'll come. But just not yet. Not you again. Shoot, I hope I'm not late. You aren't. You made just in time. Andrew Dowell, I just did yoga and now on my green tea. Good for you. Staying healthy. Frank Gonzalez, what's up, Houston? And peeps. Not you again, Houston. I miss Snoopy. When will he be back? With any luck, never. Snoopy misses me too. It's good to see the guy twice a year. He gives me a giant hug and doesn't want to let go. But I don't, unless my sister gets called back to duty again, I'm probably not going to be taking care of him. But, if she gets called back to duty again, it'll probably be because she made Admiral. And at that point, the family would just move to wherever she gets stationed because it'll be for a couple of years being in charge of a military base or something. But yeah, so. And then Snoopy will just go with them and then be some poor, midshipman's problem. I'm an admiral. I now have servants. And the servant, your job is to make sure Snoopy doesn't kill something. And that poor guy is going to have the most stressful tour of duty of his entire life, making sure the admiral's dog doesn't murder someone's Pomeranian or cat or murder the delivery man or something. Okay. Timmy F, very nice of you, Houston. Very nice of me. Sure. Laza, my friend asked me how my GME is doing. I said, terrible, with a big grin on my face. Gonna buy my first option ever tomorrow. I mean, it's, what, 13 something today? 1349. Had a low of 1320. Where are you? 1322. Oh, man. Let's go take a look at that options chain. Let's options chain it and see just GME options chain. Did options chain, whatever. Okay. So if we're playing weeklies, now you gotta put your frame of mind that pretend like this is the week of March 21st, right? So we're looking at the March 27th or whatever weeklies and look at the next week. Okay. Price dropped. Then went back up a little bit. Oh, what's the General Motors? Why is this General? What? God damn it. GameStop. Okay. This is not. Gosh dang it. GME options chain. GameStop. There we go. We want General Motors. Okay. So we're sitting just below 1350. Options for this week, 41 cents, and they dropped. We want to look at what next week would be, right? The week of March 1st. Okay. So 70 cents for just a penny out of the money. All right. If we look at the stuff that's about $10 up, which is where I think it could go, you are looking at bids of a penny, asks of 7 cents. Just below that, $22, you still have bids of a penny, asks of 5 cents. To 20, you got 2 and 7. I might be getting some sweet spot territory. 4 and 10, 0 and 6 at 19. Ooh. So this one right here, this guy, this as a weekly might be the good stuff. So you might be able to get something. Ooh, like, let's say there's a payout from MMTLP or from Bed Bath & Beyond, and we get piles of cash, right? I would look at something like this and just gamble and get like 50,000 or 100,000 of them, however many I could get, and just to see, because the price has to go up $6, right? If they get a positive earnings call and the price goes up $10, then I have 400,000 or 100,000 of them, and I'm making, let's say, $300 or $400 off of each one. That's a lot of money. That's let's say I get 100,000 of them. Clear. 100,000. And each one nets $400. You're like 40 million bucks. I'll take it. Not too shabby. That'd be a fun game to play. Fun gamble. Because I'm a degenerate and everything with options is pure degeneracy. But yeah. The price right now is like deliciously low. Really tempting to just gobble up more and do it while you can. Yes. Okay, moving on. Biz, whoever gave me the gift sub, thank you. Yes, thank you. On behalf of Biz. A passing cloud, I'll smoke enough for both of us, Houston. I'm sure your name is a passing cloud, which means you are a cloud as you walk by. VFH, did I miss double intro? No double intro yet. I just jinxed myself, so knock on. I'm pretty sure my desk is wood. Coffee Donuts and Homer, I wonder if they let GME run after hours on the day of earnings report. It's been done before. Yes. So last year, for their Q4 earnings, the price went up, I think, $11 in after hours. And then when they opened in the morning, it was up like $7. So it's up $11, like, woohoo! And then the next morning it's up $7 when it opens. So that's that's your chance to sell your options or to cash them in or whatever you're going to do, exercise them. So, you know, you can be up there. Belgian whale. So your intro troubles caused my Bluetooth headset to turn off. What's that all about? I don't know, man. It's contagious. Lucky Luciano. Did you hear about the Wharton School of Business Conference where Kirkland Ellis will discuss BBY and RADQ on February 23rd? No. Interesting. Avocados will probably be in Arkansas for the clips too. Woo! The OB, happy 420, Houston. Love the shirt. How long do you think short hedge funds will tank GME before earnings, or will they let it run up beforehand to avoid people taking advantage of positive report? Zen. That was my theory last year. And this every earnings since and before that, it would run leading up. No matter what the news was on the day of earnings, they would hammer it down after hours. Except last year. The earnings were so good and beat estimates by so much that they just couldn't do it. I think it beat the estimates by like 63 cents or something ridiculous like that. It was supposed to be negative something. It was positive 30 and it just ran. And I played it wrong. I bought the call options. It went up. Wednesday, just before earnings, I sold my call options, bought a bunch of puts thinking, oh, they're going to hammer it down after hours like always. And the news was so good that the price went up $10 a share. My options went to 0, and that was that. So I missed that one. Had I played that for each earnings call since then, I would have done pretty damn well. So here I sit, twiddling the thumbs. I was watching Pop at the open and didn't pull the trigger. Now up 180%. Pop. Yeah, see pop. I don't know what pop is. Cognizant Homer, I don't know how RC will break the shorting cycle. My guess is that you screw it up so much and you force them at some point to pay so much in liability that the government has to step in and do like, we can't do this anymore. Like, you guys broke the system and now we got to change how the system operates. And so hopefully it is no more naked shorting, no more payment for order flow. Just get rid of all the tools and weapons they have to do their naked shorting and create that kind of liability. And we have a meaningful market after that, where people can then invest long-term, steady growth, do all the things the market's supposed to do, rather than just fuck over companies and cost people their jobs. Like, let's build actual wealth as a nation rather than short-term wealth for a whole bunch of rich assholes and everyone else suffers the consequences. Whisker Biscuit. Why is Point Roberts, North Seattle, part of the U.S.? It doesn't make any sense. Because of a silly treaty. Boom. Bam. Shablank. Hey, whoa. New monitor. I got to resize my Hoojum. What's it? Okay. Got to take, I got to go Alt. Oops, no, Alt. You're not doing what you should be doing here. Okay. We'll go. Okay. Alt. Click. Alt. Nope. Alt. Click. Alt. Alt. Click. Oh, you bastard. Okay. Let's just go like this. We'll get the map here eventually. New monitor, new everything. Resolution's all different, and now we have to fucking little bastard. Okay. Now that's almost there. We're almost there. Okay. All right, put you in that corner. I gotta make you big, right? Make you like that. There we go. That'll work. All right. Let's zoom in. Let's go to Point Roberts. So you'll notice the border with Canada is this line. And this is the 48 point something parallel, 49th parallel, somewhere around there. And they got a little weird nubbins that pops up in Canada and Minnesota. Ignore that for now. Down here, the border cuts across, and this here is the 49th parallel. That's the one. Now, Point Roberts is this little hooky do right here. So basically, we said, all right, for the mainland, 49th parallel is now the border. And we almost went to war. We wanted 5440. We wanted 54 degrees north, which is way north. That's 50, 52, 55, 54, 40. It's somewhere in here. So basically, Prince Rupert, south. This all was almost the United States. We were going to go to war over this. There's a thing called 5440 or fight. Basically, everyone in the northern states were like, we want it, Canada, give it to us. And we were about to go to war for everything south of Prince Rupert. And a negotiation happened, war was averted, and we got the 49th parallel. Now, Point Roberts is this tiny little hooky-doo. It's a little peninsula that dangles down out of Canada, and this is America. This is America. And a lot of retirees live here. You can see like the border just splices right through this neighborhood right here. You got Canada on one side, US on the other. And there's only a couple thousand people that live in Point Roberts, a lot of retirees. They've got a healthy marina because they've a lot of curiosity, curious folk come in and like, oh, let's go to this weird part of the United States. But mostly they're dependent upon Canada. That they have, one border crossing? I think this is the only border crossing here. They have one way in and out. And that's how you get in and out of Point Roberts. I've never been there. I've always wanted to go. But they have, they don't have much of a town. They don't have much in the way of services. They got there's post office, got a tiny little library, the UPS store. They got Chevron is a grocery store probably. That looks like a grocery store. I don't know if they have any other businesses. Looks like they have a little clubhouse here, probably for a yacht club. They got a marina resort. They don't have much. So it's pretty simple living there. They're part of Whatcom County, which means they're part of these guys where Blaine and Bellingham is. Bellingham's the big city down Meow. About 100,000 people live there. But yeah, you got to go through Canada to get to Point Roberts. And there you go. That's it. That's all I know about Point Roberts. So, ta-da! Okay. Where was I? Carlos R. Oh, dang it, Carlos R. Oh, I missed a couple. Just from Dex. Liz Holmes would have killed for no labs tech. Yep. Punch a tree. Could there be a settlement divvy and a lifetime oil divvy? Oh, that's what you're asking. Lifetime oil divvy. I don't know. The settlement, anything in the settlement could be anything inside a giant umbrella. Like the Venn diagram of what's possible inside for that settlement is probably pretty huge. So there could be a lifetime oil divvy. There could be a cash settlement. There could be blah, 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 blah. Maybe they pay out cash as penalty for fucking everything up. Our shares disappear, but we get some sort of lifetime oil dividend off of the stock. But we don't own the stock anymore. Stock is used to close positions or whatever. I don't know. It could be all sorts of weird things. And we'll just have to sit here and do what we do best. Look at you go. Yay. Whee! Okay, lost my spot. Where is my spot? Oh, I'm way behind. Goodness gracious. Okay, Carlos R. Happy birthday, Houston. Soon. RT? Retweet? Question. When is No Lab scheduled for FDA approval again? Thank you, Senior Wade. They're not scheduled. What they said last fall is they expect fall of 2024 to be when they apply for their FDA approval. So I'm hoping to get Ron on. I haven't heard from him recently. And he can perhaps enlighten us a little more. But yeah, we'll we'll talk about that hopefully soon with Ron Erickson, CEO of No Labs. Bring him in, give us an update. It's been about a year since he was on, so an update's good. Coffee Jones and Homer, I would like to go back to the Japanese islands again. Do it. I would love to. My little sister's back in Okinawa right now. That's where she was born. I've not been to Okinawa since I was 8 years old. And I really would love to go back because, I was there for an entire summer. And in Okinawa State, like 8 years old, hop on a city bus, go to Naha, go to a store, hop on the bus, come back as an 8-year-old. No problems whatsoever. So I had a pretty good map in my head as to where everything was and how to get to places. And I would love to go back and see how much it's changed. Like, would I still know how to get to the the A&W root beer place from our apartment? Or is it all gone now? I have no idea. I honestly, if I look at Okinawa now on a map, I don't know if I could figure out where I lived. Let's go look at Okinawa real quick, because why not? Okay. There we go. There's Okinawa. It's big old squiggly squaggly right there. So, like the north end is the rural end. Lots of farms and stuff up here. Not too many big cities. Okinawa has become incredibly touristy. Like Hawaii gets about 7 million tourists a year. It's a good number. Okinawa gets about 50 million. Naha is the big city. There's Naha and there's Okinawa City. And there's a whole bunch of military bases. You can see just from all the runways and stuff. Kadena Air Force Base. This is where like the SR-71s were when I was a kid. So I got to see those fly. That was pretty cool. And we live not too far from Kadena. Let's see if we can find. I got to click on roads real quick. Okay. There's Kadena, and then there was the Marine base. Where are you? Katsu, Sky. There's that. Okay, I think I look for. Where's the elevated highway? Where did the elevated highway go? All right, that's not it. Oh, I am totally lost. This looks so different. Okay, I go up the hill. There's a hotel. The highway crossed over. Are we in here? Ooh. Oh man, this might be close to where our apartment was in this interchange here. So yeah, it looks really different. But there was the forest. Go up in the forest, and there was an abandoned resort up here that they built and then had to close down. And this might have been it. This might have been it here because it was like it had like a had like Ferris wheel stuff, and yeah, I think this was it. So yeah, so we took a big long giant walk through here once, and it was all like a big giant abandoned hotel. Anyway, I'd love to go back. My little sister's there right now, having a great time. My stepmom heads out next week to go meet up with her, and man, it's been 35 years since I was there. That's crazy. That's wild. That's weird. Anyway, Okinawa was really cool. Some of you may have been in the military and stationed there at some point. It's a neat place. It's like, I don't know. I enjoyed it as a kid. My karate instructor was incredibly abusive, but he didn't abuse me as much as he abused the Japanese kids. I think he was a little scared of abusing the white kids. So I only got like moderately abused by him, but man, he would kick the shit out of those poor little Japanese kids. Just be like horrified at what was happening in front of me. AJ, happy birthday, Houston. Thank you. Dearest GME is here. Are bankruptcy stocks the best value on the market? Only sometimes, because other bankruptcy stocks, they disappear forever and aren't worth anything. You got your Washington Mutuals and your Blockbusters and your Radio Shacks, and they aren't companies anymore. Owen Saunders, hi pal. Will BBYQ squeeze, or are we just hoping the price to open really high? I think if the price opens really high, it squeezes. That's what I think. That there's a huge number of us behind it. We all have the hodl mentality and hodl mentality, and we will not bend for chicken scratch. We want life-changing money, not like, oh, I bought a new car and went on a vacation and then that was it. No. We want the I could afford a new car and a vacation every day of my life for the rest of my life kind of money. And so people are going to hold, and they're going to hold and hold and hold. Now, there are some of you, and we've had them in the chat before, that have a shitload. We had a guy in here, 4 million shares, right? A $40 payout on 4 million shares, that guy's worth $160 million all of a sudden. He does not care what price GME goes to after that. He doesn't. Like, he already has generational wealth just from one payout, right? So he may sell at a lower price than other people. He may be like, oh, well, I have $160 million cash. I'll just hold forever and make an infinity pool for everyone else. Who knows how they're going to behave, right? So we know that institutions, the first chance they get a profit, like, sell, because that's what they do. So institutional investors, the BlackRocks, whatever, probably will sell and then be done. But the majority of holders are weirdos like us who, you know, we're not going to sell for enough to like have a great weekend. No, we're going to sell so that we can have a great life for the rest of our lives. And that involves lots of zeros. So if there's a big price pop, because there's a credit bid, issuance of equity, cash payout, whatever, cool. Now the thumb twiddling is done, and it turns into the crossed arms, get to my price. And then cool. And like maybe these arms will uncross at some point and you'll finally hit the sell button. But until then, arms stay crossed. And I want to get to the arms crossed portion of this. That'd be lovely. Rather than the face palming portion, which we've been in for a long time. Coffee Donuts and Homer is busy at work, didn't check the price of GME. Once I never thought I would be at the stage buying holding. Exactly. Like, you know, only check the price when you're going to buy more, basically. Dead Man's Monitor is a great band name. It is a good band's name. You could do a parody of Dead Man's Party with Dead Man's Monitor. Danny Moats, Houston, happy birthday. What is the difference between enzyme and hormone? I can't hear an enzyme. No fair. Jason Blackwell did that joke. You're late to the party on that one. Aaron Salentine, so Houston, let's say there's a special dividend for NextBridge. What happens to people not in AST? Oh, I think we went through that one already, right? I think hope you were here for me to explain that, because if not, rewind. We won't have to go over that again. Hardcore NZ, does FINRA matter if everyone is in on it? Government, market makers, brokers. I mean, they're supposed to be doing their job, right? And now we have evidence that they weren't doing their job. And in fact, they're doing the opposite of their job, which is harming the market. Their job is to make the market free and fair. And they harmed investors by putting their thumb on the scale for their rich buddies, which would suggest that perhaps maybe FINRA shouldn't exist. Hear me out. Perhaps instead of having this independent private company that's a self-regulatory agency that has a multi-billion-dollar asset portfolio monitoring the market, then maybe we should have an unconnected government agency do that, who aren't members of the brokers and the market makers and everything else. That it's some nerd who hates the bros and wants to make them pay for shoving them into lockers their entire lives, and they go after them like a little nerdy four-eyed pit bull. And that is who should be doing this stuff. Give law enforcement powers to SEC. Don't have the SEC farm out crap to a group like FINRA. Have them in-house it and do everything. One-stop shop. So they don't have to like worry about negotiating between multiple things. Just have one group do it and make it clear, concise, and efficient. And don't allow them to bounce back and forth between private equity and the government. Bitcoin, Jazz Me Coin up over 50% in a day or so. They'll do that. Person with no name. Happy birthday, Houston. Sorry I'm late. What are your thoughts on IEP tomorrow? Today was nuts for IEP. Oh, I didn't look at IEP. Got to turn off the old... where'd you go? Google Chrome. There you are. Nope. Turn on Google Chrome. Oh, Google Earth. Oh, off. Off. Chrome. There we go. Okay. IEP. Okay, Enterprises. What do we have today? Well, up a cent. Open at 21. Went as high as 22. Back down 21. Interesting. And then bouncing around quite a bit there. I mean, their dividends are going to be the same. They're going to give out $1 per quarter. I have no idea what they're going to talk about in their earnings. Is earnings tomorrow? Is that what's happening? I don't know. I don't know when it is that like someone like ICANN reveals his hand, because we know that he just dumped a bunch of money into JetBlue, and JetBlue went whee, right? So I cannot predict the man. For me, he's unpredictable at this point. Wait, what just happened? You guys don't see the same thing I'm seeing. Why is that? That is not what... That's weird. Why? I only have... Oh, shit. How did I open up another window? What happened there? Close that. Weird. Okay. IEP. Yeah. Not now. Okay. That's... Dirk. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking at on my other. For some reason, how did I open up another window? That's so weird. Anyway, yeah. Started low, went up a little bit, went back low again. There we are. Poof. It's 4:07. I've got 22 minutes, and I've not had a nuggie stare. What is up with you, man? Look at you, monkey butt. Look at you. Not one true nuggie stare the entire... Oh, there it is. Look at those eyes. Are you going to go back up there again? With the nuggies? The nuggies? The nuggies? The nuggies? The nuggies? There it is. All right. Which aren't really nuggies. More stinky beef. Less nuggie, more stinky beef. Yeah? Is that what you want? Is that what you want? Oh, so she's so gentle. She's such a gentle dog. I'll do one more. And, do Jaws cam. Dun-dunt. Dun-dunt. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. All right. Oh, I forgot to do the... Shit. Forgot to do the thing. Sorry, not a double intro. It's a first intro. It's all right. Yeah. You have a dog now? Like Mercy. There you go. Okay, turn that one off. All those are off. We're cool. Dylan Miller, 420. Blah, blah, blah. Don't go to Arkansas. Come to Rochester, New York. Supposedly one of the places to view the clips in the world. I have family in Rochester. Well, man, I don't know if I actually have family in Rochester anymore. My cousin married into the Eastman Kodak family and had a very, very fancy wedding in Rochester. My cousin-in-law for a period of time was Abby Wambach, like the greatest female soccer player ever. I got to dance with her at their wedding. And I think my cousin is now divorced from that family. And I don't know if he's still in Rochester. I'll have to find out. But yeah, Cousin Nate, are you still in Rochester? I have no idea. But Rochester in April can still be pretty cold and miserable. You can still have some winter going on up there. Kevin Rainin, thanks for the storytelling. I should be able to make it through the end of my shift now. Excellent. And reminders, because we just talked about the eclipse, send a self-addressed envelope to the address below, the P.O. box below, and I will send you your very own eclipse viewing glasses. So you'll have your own very own eclipse viewing glasses. These ones are from 2017, but guess what? The sun brightness doesn't change, nor does the technology in these things. And I have a bunch of the eclipse tickets gave me. So by all means, send them my way. I think these ones were from the Air and Space Museum in Colorado, where a classmate of mine worked. And I have some that I purchased, which were these ones. And then eclipse tickets gave me some more. So I've got like hundreds of them. So by all means, send me a self-addressed envelope. I'll get you eclipse viewing glasses, because who knows what you did with them from 7 years ago. You want to be able to look at the sun again and not lose your eyeballs. So yeah, take that on. Covenant's Homer IEP was double the volume. Ford ZZ9. What was the big Toys R Us announcement yesterday? I didn't seem to catch it when all the paperwork started rolling. I didn't really see what there was. TOYRF. Stock price dropped by almost 2 cents, so completely collapsed. Gone. Anything in the news? No, I don't see anything. Yeah, I see nothing. Oats with Goats. Happy birthday. Dog Mom Houston, I'm waiting at the beginning. But I just need to tell you how awesome you are. I never forget that. You're awesome. Well, thank you, Dog Mom. Toys R Us is making an acquisition. Toys R Us Australia. Well, yeah, then I didn't really hear. If someone has it, send it to me, because I don't want to spend all the time looking for it. Monkey Butt Sweet, so talented with her high fives. She is. Hobby Warehouse Group. That's who they're getting. Cotter, what the fuck? You're laughing at a family losing everything? I am, because it's known as the consequences of your own actions. Like, if you're going to be dumb enough and homophobic enough to turn your back on the nation that allowed you to prosper and have a working farm and everything else, but your homophobia and transphobia is so great that you sell everything, you leave your country behind, where there is no persecution happening. Remember that. They're not being persecuted in any way, shape, or form. They're not being told, like, you cannot have your business, we're going to put you in jail, and doing the things that happen, most times when people are forced to, like, immigrate to a new country. They were living a great life. They just are so full of hate that they wanted to go to a country that embraced their hate. That's it. So they get to that country, and it turns out that country is a shithole, and took them for a ride, stole all their money. That is the consequence of their actions. I feel sorry for the 8 children they brought into this world, because through no fault of their own, their dumbass parents put them in that situation. But at the same time, there's some definite schadenfreude for the giant lesson that guy has to learn about trusting Russians, especially Putinistas in the Russian government, that they're going to do the right thing. They're not. They are a mafia, and their criminal enterprise just happens to run a country. And you are a mark. They will take whatever you have and go, ha, 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 sucker, until the next sucker comes along. Because they have no interest in long-term investments. They have no interest in you opening a farm. They don't care. They don't care at all. So, yeah. And what's going to happen is, if and when this guy gets back to Canada, right, with nothing, because all his assets are frozen in this Russian bank, and he'll never get anything. He will beg the Canadian embassy to work with the Russians to give him his money back. It may come back, but my guess is the Canadian government at that point is like, you left us, who gives a shit, right? And so they're going to come back to nothing, have no job, business, be living on the government dole, and be the opposite of the hardworking, self-made person the guy probably thinks he is, even though he probably inherited everything. And I'm all for the schadenfreude on that there, Cotter. BOH, your monitor might be haunted. Have you ever watched Read the Ring? I have, and it might be haunted. You know, maybe all the personality that was involved in the man who owned the monitor is trapped inside this monitor. That's why every 10, 15 minutes it goes, zzz. Who knows? Confidence Homer, what are the memberships for? Memberships to the channel. That's basically a way of like supporting the channel. You should be able to get discounts on the store, but I can't get the store connected to the channel, and YouTube can't figure out why I can't get the store connected to the channel. They said it was because I didn't have a return policy, but I do have a return policy on the store. So I don't know. I don't know. I need like 2 weeks with somebody who's a computer scientist to figure it out for me, because I have not been able to figure it out. But that should be the case at some point. Crayon Green gifted 5 memberships. Oh boy, Crayon Green. Who's getting them? Who's getting them? A dog. A dog was gifted. Kim Fusting, J Webb, G Font, and Anonymous. Fantastic. I love that. A dog. Schadenfreude say Schadenfreude. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Schadenfreude, not Schadenfreude. Never heard it say Schadenfreude. How to pronounce Schadenfreude. Oh, it says Schadenfreude. 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 Okay. You are correct. I am wrong. I always heard it's called Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude. Well, that does sound more German. But we did maybe possibly Americanize it. All right. I stand corrected. Make Houston great again. Seagill, buying close to the money GME calls on these dips expire at least 3 months out. Hope to exercise to lower my cost average. Won't stop. Yeah, I mean, I think if I do a play leading up to earnings, I'll probably buy something that's about a quarter out and a whole bunch of somethings that are a week or two out. Because give me that quick cash. Stash Diamond, Helen of Troy acquiring credit line to acquire TUP. What's TUP? Tupperware? Also, Capital One is buying Discover for $35 billion in stock. So no cash, is swapping stock. And they will now be the largest creditor in the entire world. Which makes me wonder, are they still, those Credit One commercials now going to be for Discover card? And not for like Master or Visa? I did the math. So I receive a Capital One since about 2000, year 2000. So 24 years now. I get 2 to 3 Capital One cards a week. And a Capital One apply for our Capital One cards a week. Now, let's figure out, because I did the math a couple years ago. We got 52 weeks in a year. It's been 24 years, right? So it's been 1,248 weeks. I get 2 to 3 a week. Let's call it 3. 3 a week. Probably between postage and printing and envelopes, you're looking at probably 70 cents per thing, because you got 50 cents postage, right? And another, maybe another 10 cents. Let's call it 60 cents. So 3 of those a week times 60 cents means they should have just cut me a check for $2,246.46 rather than sending me all of those credit card applications. Like, I didn't apply for the credit card. I have not applied for the credit card. I've shown no interest in applying for the credit card in 24 years. And yet I get 2 to 3 of these things a week. They spent $2,246.40 on sending me those things for the last 24 years. I would just like the cash, please. Just do that. save. If you give me $2,246 today, there's no need to send me any credit card applications for the next 24 years. I'll be okay. I'll be fine. So just do that, please. Jordan, E-Trade not allowing people to transfer AST, just saying AST is full. Did you hear this? I have not heard AST is full. My guess is E-Trade just doesn't have the shares to transfer, and that's their problem. Just Bodies, bro, that big-ass dog. Snoopy was a big boy. He was skinny when he got to me. He's like 120. He beefed up to about 145, 150 when I got him back to my sister's house because a lot of his neuroticism was gone. He was still really neurotic, but he ate really well. Yeah, he was skinnier again when I saw him again. But yeah, he was a big dog. Corporate Walnut. A man is being arrested by a female police officer who informs him anything you say will be held against you. The man replies, boobs. Shimp. Whisker Biscuit. Something I think MMTLP needs is a severely dumbed down elevator pitch of what happened. I've struggled to even explain to my girlfriend and family what happened without their eyes glassing over. That is the hardest part because it is not a simple 30-second pitch you can do. You have to lay the backstory. You have to talk about what naked shorting is. So you have to understand that. And then you have to describe the timeline that happened. And that takes 5-10 minutes. And then you have to explain, like, in the end, what happened to the stock and where it went. And that takes a few more minutes. And they're going to ask a couple of questions if they were paying attention. And so you're looking at minimum, probably a 20-25 minute spiel. It is really, really, really hard. You cannot put it into 700 words in the New York Times for the average person to understand. It's going to have to be a feature article in New York Times Magazine that's like 10 pages long. And that's the only way. That's it. I mean, there's no simple explanation beyond a stock that shouldn't trade was then forced to trade, and they tried to stop it from trading, but before it got stopped from trading, they stopped it from trading. It cost everybody a pile of money, and the shorts won. And then they're like, oh, I don't understand any of that. So I don't really think there's quite a short way. I think I did it once in a video in about 5 minutes, sometime last year, and that's about. And even then, I felt like it wasn't quite the meat that people needed. Ryan's here for the cattail karaoke, and he got some. Just reset. There we go. You guys didn't see any of the stuff that I did on the options chain. Dang it. Because the stupid monitor had a different window. Well, just take my word for it. I don't want to go back over it all. Let's go. It's Houston. What do you think about the future of filmmaking cinema? AI can make filmmaking really accessible, but will the amount of content make it harder to find great stories? The stories will be terrible. The AI will be completely unchecked and most likely be super garbage beyond a few scenes. And I don't think people are going to be interested in it in any way, shape, or form. Imagine, like, if all of your movie experiences suddenly became those really chintzy pay-to-play phone games that no one actually cares about. Like, they play it for like 5 minutes, like, this was so stupid, I can't believe I paid 99 cents for this. And then they never want to play a game like that again. That is where the future of cinema will be heading. I don't think people are going to find AI-written stories, AI-generated videos good beyond, like, laughing at the technology that happens. I like people. I want people. I don't want robots doing everything. I want people doing things. I want to see what people can do. I want to be impressed by people, not fascinated by what a robot can copy that a person did that was more interesting, right? So, like, if you want a quick joke, you want to make like, oh, I want to see a picture of Brad Pitt eating salad on top of a donkey. And like, AI can produce that for you. Cool. You did it. Yay. You can say, hey, make me a commercial for an 80s children's toy, and it will produce some generic thing. And you can be like, that was funny, but it wasn't good, and it wasn't something that you can put on commercial on TV, and people go, oh, I'm going to buy that toy now. You're not going to. You're going to be like, what the hell did I just see? I have no context for this. I am horrified. It might be great. You might be able to do a used car commercial for come on down to Big Hat Teddy's and we got you a great deal. You can do videos like that. But even then, you want the humanity of seeing Big Head Teddy or whatever do his thing. DRS America, Discover came from Sears. I don't know that. Ralph Fan, Houston. NextBridge hydrocarbons worth so much. Why big oil company hasn't bought them yet? Because I think they were waiting for them to start producing more. You'll notice all the oil fields that sold in the last year were all producing heavily in oil. I wasn't just we've got this much in reserves. It was, we have all this infrastructure, pipelines, wells, trucks, tanks, the whole 9 yards. And NextBridge Hydrocarbons is now building up to that. I think they thought we got a whole bunch of oil here. We can sell these leases and make some money off of it. But then they saw the prices that oil fields that were developed were getting. And they're like, oh, we have more oil than them. So we should probably develop and we can make more money than they can. So, yeah. Dearest America, this is my step ladder. I never met my real ladder. Michael Smith is here. Water's warm in the infinity pool. Michael Smith, Houston. What do you think of AJ's 24th date for BBBY shares to return? I would love it if it happens. But, oh God, shut the door more quietly. Jesus. But I don't. Dates are dates. We can have as much hopium for all the dates we have, but until it happens, it's all speculation. That's why we've been in speculation station for so long. Right, Monkey? You gonna go tell them to shut the door more quietly? Because please do. Because I don't know who's slamming doors in this house, but they slam it all the time. It wakes me up constantly. They'll slam at 6 in the morning. What is there, earthquake? Only Bullhead had birthday rich yet? Only in friendship. Kelly Reed, happy birthday, Houston. Senator Tommy Tuberville sold Apple, Microsoft, Google, rats jumping, sinking ship. Bezos is selling off. Gates is selling off. I think they are selling everything. Should Platinum go to jail? If it's found that she has been a complete shill for the short hedge funds, as I suspect, yes. Yes, she should. As well as Gasparino and Dr. James Angel definitely should. That guy is a straight up lackey criminal. You pay me $1 million, I'll say whatever you want. A dog says, it might be surprising, but I am not a dog. What? False advertising? I got 1 minute. Let's see here. WTF videos. What do you think are the chances of landing on the moon thing and the frenzy going on with Lunar? Good chances of success for the mission? Opinion. Very good. I think we will have somebody landing on the moon within the next year. When are they planning for it? I think they were planning for summer, aren't they? NASA Lunar Mission Timeline 2024. Artemis delayed 4 times. Artemis 1 successfully launched Wednesday, November 16th, 2022. Artemis 2, 2025. September 2025. Okay. So it was supposed to be November this year. Now it's pushed back to September 2025. So a year and a half-ish. All right. Okay. So Artemis 2, I think, is humans. We'll land a couple of ladies on the moon, and we're like, woo, ladies on the moon. And they'll start laying the groundwork for a permanent colony. Or at least a base. Citizens 54, when Citizens United theory repeal, what was it? We're talking about how Citizens United basically says corporations are people. So my example came from when everyone was complaining about Hillary Clinton supposedly granting the Russians the ability to buy a Uranium One, which was a giant uranium company in Wyoming. Now, regardless of the fact that they could not figure out how a timeline works, Hillary Clinton had no decision-making power in who bought Uranium One. Now, Uranium One's claims are on federal land, and under the 1872 mining law, foreigners are not allowed to hold claims on U.S. land. In order to get around this, and utilizing Citizens United, the Russian company that owns Uranium One formed a wholly owned subsidiary inside the United States, based in Wyoming, and then that wholly owned subsidiary is what owns the mining claim. And because Citizens United rules that companies are people and thus citizens, you can make a company that now has the rights of a citizen that can do things that people who are not citizens cannot do. So this wholly owned Russian company made a wholly owned subsidiary in the United States that company is now a citizen of the United States, even though they don't have voting power or anything else. They can now own land or control claims inside the United States on federal lands that prohibit foreigners from owning such claims. So that was the argument against Citizen United that I think is, I think that's something that the ACLU or someone could run with if they wanted to. All right, I got to get going. If I didn't get to your chats, I'm sorry. We'll have Rosa on tomorrow. I still don't know what time. I've not heard back from her. I will message her again. And we will talk with her about all the MMTLP stuff. And then if you guys can ask the questions, and we will do the questions things and blah, blah, yakety schmackety. Bing.
Houston, we have a problem.
Ooh, that's it. We're done. Peace out.